What's going on, guys? Welcome to part 3 of building the ultimate man cave. If you haven't already watched parts 1 and 2, definitely go back into the channel. I'll have it in a playlist. Definitely check out parts 1 and 2. This is part 3. We're gonna start organizing a little bit more. I won't spoil it too much, and definitely stay tuned for the final finished product because I do some really cool things that have already been completed. I'm just catching up on editing the video. So guys, enjoy, and I'll see you guys on part 4 soon enough. Take care. All right guys, for the next phase, what we're gonna do is we are going to, of course, get this organized here. Now, you can hang TVs, you can hang up little Blu-rays and all that fun stuff, but it doesn't look good, then it's pointless. So what we need to do is we need to reorganize. I got all my little jack stands and all that stuff down here. We're gonna reorganize this, clean off that, because I've actually used that actual workbench bench. And then what we need to do is come over here with the Bellata and the older Schwinns. We need to figure out what's going on over there. The only reason I'm even keeping that fan, which does take up a lot of room, is for the boxing gym later down the road. But right today, we are going to be focusing in on this wall here because I do have some other metal shelves with some baskets I want to hang up either over here, and we got to figure out what's going on with that sunglass case, if we're going to keep it or huck it. So let's begin the tidy up process. Alright guys, where I last left you, we were working on this side of the garage here. We have vacuumed it, shop vacuumed it, of course. Got it cleaned up a little bit, but definitely not to where we want our specs quite yet, but cleaner. I do need to recycle the battery. I need to recycle the oil, which is, where is it? Where'd it go? Oh, right here in front of me, duh. So all this is used motor oil. I need to recycle that. Always recycle, do not throw that away. Recycle your batteries. I'm actually gonna turn that into Walmart for my core charge. And now we're over here on this wall, guys. Take a look at this, okay? I wanna initiate the dartboard in there, of course. I wanna do the check and the bikes, etc. I need to get rid of this pegboard. Now I could use this pegboard, of course, but it's not really going with my motif. So I think I'm gonna pull it off, pull the hoses off, and reconfigure this wall here. Again, I have my aluminum pieces here, this, and then these are aluminum or steel. I'm not exactly sure. The baskets do fit on these ones, but not on these ones or this one. Maybe this one, but definitely not that one. Again, a nice solid piece here, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit here, play around with some ideas, and get to work. But I have something awesome for this side, which is gonna be coming soon, either in this episode or next one. I will be working on that corner. But take a look at this, guys. Oh, I didn't even show you this, duh. So last night, I was like pondering on getting things more organized. I saw this, I was like, what in the world? Anyway, from my last apartment, my bachelor pad before I got married, which was given to me, I have the racks, and those were free. Those were given to me. I put up the wood, and that, if you can see, is actually tilted a little bit. I need to raise that up one hole as well. It's all about organization, baby. I got my espresso machine. I got another 15-inch monitor, my PS4 boxes, my Apple boxes, my Louis Vuitton box. We're looking really good on organization there, but let's come back over here and let's focus in on this right here. And if you're wondering about that $10 million check, that's another time for another story, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So let's focus in on this wall. Let's get this dialed in. And I have nothing left. Alright guys, I gotta keep it a little bit quiet now because it is late at night time, but I want to show you guys exactly what we're looking at right here. We stacked a bike up above us right here, absolutely phenomenal. As you can see, I have another red hook up there, but unfortunately it wasn't able to mount. Now we do have the front tire off of the mountain bike, but of course I will be clipping that in somewhere over here or adjacent, maybe behind the bike. Again, I want to make it look streamlined, and so that makes it a lot better. I don't have to deal with a tire sitting there, and there was no studs to hang it upside down. Plus, if I hung it upside down, well, I probably wouldn't get it nice and tight up there as well. Maybe, but anyway, a little bit shifty with finding studs. That was the only one I found all the way over there. There might be another one somewhere, but that's all drywall. So anyway, guys, coming down here, let me show you this, what this is. You guys already know what this is. This is the TV mount bracket right here. This was another DD find that I have right here, the bracket mount that was separate than this. And you're like, what in the world is this? This is a tilting bracket part right here. I took off the screw so it would lay 90 degrees. This was separate than this. This was actually with the one that's behind there right now. Remember in episode 1, it was tilting. And so these, again, are other ones. I didn't want to deal with these ones. I'm using these ones right here. And if they're too long, again, we will cut them down to size. Again, this clips onto the back of the TV and then it tilts like this. But I'll go ahead and just remove some of those screws there, and then it lays down 90 degrees, and I actually use that part to mount, clip into the thing with this folding flat down, just like we saw right here, guys. Absolutely phenomenal. Definitely some sturdy weight to it, and I'm only putting a road bike on there, so that's only about, estimation, about 18, 19 pounds. It's a little bit older steel frame, so it's gonna be about almost 20 pounds, but lighter than that guy right there. That's why I'm using the road bike on this mount right here. And you're asking me, Chris, why in the world didn't you just put a big old bolts with washers into the wall? I was thinking about that, but I wanted to use the TV mount. This was just sitting in my garage. I was like, dude, should I just get rid of it? These things don't even go to this mount because they don't clip in the bottom. Neither do the other ones. They're separate. This is all separate individual parts that were, again, hucked. So these are all DD finds, separate finds. So this clips in the top up here, but does not clip in the bottom here. But because I was able to find the studs on each one here, I might even put in some more bolts down there. I probably will, but it's only about a 20-pound bike. It's different than about a 50-pound TV, but I was just thinking about that as I'm talking with you guys. I'll probably put some more bolts in here and here, maybe tomorrow when I can make a little bit more noise and drill. So I'm gonna put the other one on right here, lay it flat, and then if this is too long, I will go ahead and just cut that down to size a little bit more appropriately so the bike just fits on. I'll get a shot of that in just a sec. All right, guys, let's take a look at the finished product here. As we can see here, these mounts are actually really, really cool. So this is a great little invention that I kind of rigged up here. It might have been done before again, but I just randomly kind of looked at it and I'm like, you know what? This is not being used. It doesn't even work together. So again, it's not completely finished. I do need to look around my garage and find some pads, like maybe just some pads that can kind of the steel frame can rest on. Eventually, if I get a better bike up here, then of course the metal, I mean, as long as it doesn't roll back and forth, it won't scratch it. But let me show you a couple really cool things with these mounts. Again, the side you're looking at right here goes on the back of your TV and then tilts like I mentioned earlier. These things I just had dropped down a line here and screwed together. I was going to take them off, but then I'm like, hey, take a look at that. So I actually swung them, loosened up the screws, swung it around because that's the tilting mechanism right there, and then I tightened it back up. So now, even though that is about 90 degrees, maybe a little bit lower, this one's a tiny bit lower. For some reason, it might be taking the bulk weight of it. I have stabilized it in the back there, but again, even without this, it wouldn't go down at all. But this is to prevent it, just in case if anything shook like an earthquake, it wouldn't just slide down right into my car. So this is absolutely awesome. And then I just tighten back the screws, and those are nice and tight, giving the bicycle a nice little lock-in feature. And then this one's a little bit different, but of course this is not gonna jump the whole entire bracket right here as we can see, but definitely cool. So we do need to put some pads like I mentioned, and then we need to put in some more bolts down here. And then what's cool about this is this actually will be able to slide because it's not locked into the bottom bracket down here. You're able to almost slide it like a sliding mechanism. So I can literally take these little things and I can adjust it further away from this, and I can just scoot these brackets down, etc. I have one-handed, but anyway, you just scoot them down so you can even have them go all the way over here. You can push it more forward up there. You might have to put some bumper stops in if you're going closer to the edge, but overall, guys, I think it's an absolutely fantastic way of using a TV mount that's not even compatible with the bracket mounts that I'm using. And then again, that is an actual Harbor Freight one I purchased a while ago for like $4 or $5 to hang that one, as is that one is a Harbor Freight one as well. And then I put some little pads on the end of it, not to scratch the frame. We're still gonna work on this side. I'm out of TV mounts, unfortunately, so I don't know what I'm exactly gonna do. I'm probably just gonna use this. But anyway, we're gonna work on that side later on. We organized it already. Again, too many bikes, but that, to me, looks fantastic. Since I last left you, we were over here on the right-hand side. Now we've come back over here to the left-hand side. Just temporary. I know I'm skipping around quite a bit here, but we are trying to get this place dialed in. We have now raised the mount that I got at Harbor Freight a while back. That was a purchase, and so that was a part of the 5 or 10% that is going to be purchased. Now, we raised that little rack up. Again, that was only like $5. I got some foam padding. That was a DD fine. We raised it up, and what we did is we took off the front wheel. That prevents it from having to stick out, and of course I did the same thing with a mountain bike up here. The front tire will again be dismounted for the wall mount just because it prevents from bumping into it and even knocking it over, and plus having a tilted wheel. If you pre-watch the episode or this episode, you'll notice that in the video. So again, we've pushed back the sunglasses case. I'm still a little iffy about this, trying to work it in. If not, we'll figure it out. Coming downstairs below, you're like, what in the world are those? Those are awesome. This is definitely awesome, and this is the other tilting TV mount rack that I did have. Now, I did mention earlier, of course, we have this one over here. I did not have the back mount plate, but I was able to go ahead and use the tilting mechanism again, took off the screws. I had to customize it just a little bit, not really with any drilling or anything, but as we see here again, I took off the bolts for the tilting mechanism here. I then made them 90 degrees. They actually have some holes here, as they do right here for the different clips for the TV rack. As you can see, that's where your TV would slip into on the back rack. Again, I didn't have another one of those, but I was able to find the stud here and the stud here. And again, this will pretty much only work with road bikes, not mountain bikes with a very small V-frame right here. Because the road bikes have such a large V-frame, I'm able to use both 16-inch studs, slip it on there like that with room to spare. Again, this probably would not work with the one up there, but it would work again with the long V-frame. Now, maybe a carbon fiber V-frame, that might be a little bit different, but anyway, it works with these. We're gonna make it work. Let's run this. So, we have another DD fine long time ago. Grab that foam padding, you never know when you need it. And what I did is there's actually little clips in here, tell you, look at that, for your TV. Now, what I did is I just put these over the top of it here to prevent any scratching on the frame, and now you have black on black, great looking bicycle rack that is customized, not your typical little Harbor Freight one up here. So I think this looks absolutely fantastic. Let's go ahead and put the bike on and see what it looks like. It's up there, and of course, we got a little trial and error, but it works. We're gonna try to configure that a little bit better. I won't be drilling another hole, but again, because the studs are so wide, I'm actually not able to fit it underneath the V-frame, but it rests on the seat right there, and I can always makeshift another thing so it kind of goes off from the side and hooks underneath. I'll figure that out in a little bit, but I think it looks fine. It's just slightly tilted down a little bit, as you can see, but not bad at all. Flush against the wall, no tires needing to be taken off. So again, that is actually looking fine to me. Again, a couple inches lower than the front tire, but not bad at all. Next day, we're looking good. We're gonna flip around here. And this whole series is actually taking a little bit longer than expected. I'm working in the afternoons. Luckily, it stays a little bit lighter until the rest of the evening. Now, I stay up very late, but of course, living in a condominium complex, we can't really make noise after 9 p.m., so I limit all sawing, drilling, banging pre-9 p.m. I try to do it a little bit earlier than that as well, because there are families with small children around where I live. I want to be respectful. So right now I'm popping around to different locations of the garage. Of course, we did this side over here. We flipped around to this side, but I still need to I just have too many bikes. I need to put some tires, some rims on this one. I need to Craigslist it or flip it. Most likely what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna limit myself to 1, 2 over here, 1, 2 over here. I am gonna keep the mountain bike, but upgrade eventually, and then eventually swap it out. But I have my rims over here. This is not what it's gonna be, the finalization, but for temporary right now. Penny board, Churchill fins, carbon fiber frame here, And then now what we're looking on right here is, again, I have a lot of airsoft guns I want to display. We have another bike rack here for your trunk with a load of tires. One mountain bike and the rest are road bike. And you're wondering, why on earth do you have that many, plus that many, plus that stash, and plus this stash, guys? Well, like I mentioned earlier in the video, there was a bike shop right behind the house, closed down, and I would do a little eyeing about once a week behind there. Guys in my area are very, very wealthy, and they upgrade their bikes to better tires, better rims, and again, just not where I personally am right here, but literally like a mile down the street, $1 million homes. Guys get into the sport of cycling, and they're like, fix me up, you know, I want the best of the best, or I'm gonna get back into it. I got a 5-year-old bike, give me the best of the best. So again, I would find cranks, I would find brake levers, I would find this frame, which is cracked, but I'm gonna try to fix it. And again, Continental tires that are about 60 or 70 bucks a pop. And I got, see right there, Gator, and you're looking at about probably 75% tread still on there. So again, guys go in there and they're like, hook me up, you know? Anyway, getting back to the series, that's why I have so many tires, just to kind of fill you guys in. Now, we are gonna relocate that, and right over here, let me show you guys this real quickly here. So this walk-in, and again, we're looking at Hoarder Central right now, so bear with me here. But this is my eBay hallway. This is direct access up to my upstairs unit right here. I have television, main boards, I got my Amazon boxes for shipping, I got my Louis Vuitton messenger bag, which was a DD find, I got my DJI Phantom 3 case right here, my airsoft guns, coats. This is all DD finds, of course not this was product review, but this was a nice DD find as well. I'll try to incorporate that. There is my projector screen. I'm gonna try to incorporate with the garage man cave, of course, but look at all this, look at these high ceilings, window way up there. Look at these walls. These are completely obscured walls where you can have some sweet shelving. I mean, sky's the limit right here, guys. Of course, you don't want it really like, you know, confined while walking up, but I'm gonna try to utilize this here. Eventually, I'm gonna close the garage door. I'm gonna utilize this space here and this space up here. It just, the layout is really, really cool, where the downstairs units and the other units attached to this building do not have this. This was absolutely fantastic. There's a door right there, a very small little hallway with my shelves with my eBay auctions, and there's a door right there. I just close that door to the upstairs unit, and this is Hoarder Central back here without anybody knowing, coming over, and they have no idea. So anyway, that's giving you a little backstory on that there. Definitely want to display the airsoft guns, but I don't want to have them in, like, obviously the plain open thing. You know, dog walkers walk by, kids, and they're like, what the heck is that? The guy's crazy, he's a terrorist. So anyway, you gotta be careful about that one, you know, even though they are play guns. Okay, guys, so let's bring this down. We're probably gonna Goodwill the bike rack because I already have one here. So that was an old one my brother gave me. We're gonna Goodwill that one, get that off of there, get rid of the tires, reorganize this. Of course, that's going to be a surprise for probably a different episode. But what we need to do is, this was again another DD find from the bike shop. Both of these. This is baskets, and of course we've already seen those here. The baskets fit on. I have 2 baskets that were DD finds from the bike shop. I got 4 little things of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And so we're going to mount 2 of those with the baskets. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the baskets right up here, 1 and 2. And then I also, remember guys, I still have another long piece of aluminum right here. We're gonna try to figure out where to put that. Of course, I've already used 1, 2, and 1 over here. We're gonna figure that out. A lot to do, a lot to figure out, but doing it along. I'm actually thinking and creating ideas as I go, which is awesome. But I want to take the space here and I want to organize it and fix it up. I want to make it look streamlined. I don't want it cluttered. And so, I know what you guys are saying, cluttered. Look at your place, it's a hoarder. You should be on the show, I know that. So I'm trying to clean it up, Goodwill. And then I'm really not throwing away anything because I like to give it away. I like to give it a second life. Plus, I don't want it to go in the landfill. So I'm Goodwilling most stuff. And also, I'm just setting it out next to my dumpster. Let me show you guys real quickly here. Take a look at this, guys, real quick. I put a little shelf out here. Very cool. So that is going to be hooked up for somebody else. So anyway, I don't want to be too loud, you know what I'm saying? Neighbors be like, oh, well, it's you over there. It's you that's doing that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Nah. So we're trying to get in the books, trying to see what's the synopsis. All right, enough talking, more organizing. Let's go, baby. Let's go ahead and hang this one up, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see what we got. Here's one, and shabam, number 2. Let's get rid of that little sticky thing there. I'm not really sure what the deal is with that, but look at that, guys. Wow. Let's step back a second and take a just beautiful gander at that. That is what I'm talking about. Tennis balls, you name it, basket, you know what I'm saying? We're looking absolutely fantastic. You don't want to weigh that down with too much weight, obviously, because I mean, I'm in a stud each one, but again, these baskets are steel and the little hooks in there aren't too terribly good. So I'm talking maybe about 20 pounds each basket, but again, we're talking about tennis balls, probably some rackets or something like that, maybe some sports activity equipment. We'll figure it out when the time comes, guys, but look at this right here. That's what I'm talking about. Come on now, get some of that. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a surprise for you. Let's go ahead and turn around and see what we got. Does anything look different? Does anything look different, huh? Boom, look at that sick action right there. That is what I'm talking about. That is phenomenal. I used those crappy cork boards that were right over here. Remember, I was actually gonna stash them up above here on this wooden thing just to get them out of the way. And then if the owner wanted them when we move out, then I was gonna put them back on the wall, etc. I wasn't gonna throw them away. Cork boards are cool, but they're not that cool. I like rails better, of course, but they are free. They were already here, so I might as well take advantage of them. And this is up out of the way without anybody seeing it, so it's not gonna throw any alarm clocks off, if you know what I'm saying. Of course, we have the orange tip over there, so no worries about that one, but that looks a little bit freaky, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta be a little bit careful of little critters running around, you know what I'm saying? So that's better. I was gonna do it right here, and if this was my own crib, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I might switch it back over here, but I kind of wanted some sports equipment over here like that. I was gonna maybe line them up down there, and I still could later on down the road, but again, I need to get more of these hooks that stick out of the actual rail system. But in regards to that, I was like, you know what, let me just put them up there. I already got some little hooks, and I actually zip tied a couple of them up there for looks, and you can just bring them down pretty quickly. Use my ladder, use that as a little stand to kind of, you know, get up on in there. Drilled a couple holes into the wall there, and again, that's above my garage. So the garage door is gonna go up and right above it. When the garage door is open, it's gonna be completely hidden, secret style, and as it goes down, then it's gonna reveal shabam shabam. And oh, I forgot one more thing. I need my little badge here. We need to put that up there, really nice style, maybe probably over in that corner there. I do have one more handheld upstairs, but I'm probably gonna keep it upstairs though, but I kind of like the assortment, as we can see. So I gotta fill up this little section there, probably with 1 or 2 more, maybe 2 handhelds or maybe 1 large one. We'll figure it out when the time comes. I do have a big dog. I don't know where it ran off to, but anywho, so we got some cool things we can put up there. So that is some sweet stuff that I did since the last time I saw you, and I will, don't you worry about that. It's either gonna be episode probably 4. I'm gonna trick out something that's gonna blow your guys' mind. Stay tuned for that. So thanks again, guys, for watching. Subscribe so you're up to date with all my other videos, because I just don't do project builds. I do all sorts of stuff on this channel. So subscribe so you're always up to date. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.